This is Irontrader, and this is midday trading. So I'm going to take a look here at some stocks. First, I want to take a look here at Macy's, at Dick's, and at Best Buy, which will have numbers later on today. And then we'll take a look here at PLTR, PLTR. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation buy, selling stock, commodity ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have Macy's. Now, the numbers came out today, and actually they beat on all numbers. The guidance, I guess, was a little bit low because what they're doing is they're blaming it on tariffs, just like Walmart is, and that's all bullshit right there. You know what I'm saying? Macy's now, they're having a little tough time. Where I am, we have a nice mall, and Macy's closed in that mall. So that's not really what you call like a good thing, okay? But let's just see how Macy's is doing right here on the stock. Now, you can see here we're kind of like have a pop and drop, but we're really pretty much really sideways, okay? So let's look at the upside here first, okay? So realistically, 1285, that's the key we have to go by here, okay? That's the rate, basically just the top of that channel, that a candle right there, okay? So we filled this gap. See how we had gap down, came right on down, and then we've actually filled that gap. Now, next level we're going to be looking at is going to be this 100-day at 1335 level, okay? Then what we'll do is we just bring these candles right on over here. Well, that's 1330, so let's go to the next one. We're looking here at 1364 level. We'll come up top of this candle here. You're looking at 1395. And then we'll come over top of this candle right here. You're looking at 1448. But realistically, what you're looking at is going to be that 1457. But you got to get above that 1285. Now, this isn't really what you call my kind of a stock, the retail play. I'd rather be like in a Costco. If you're going to do retail. But again, if you are trading this, just watch that 1285 there on the top. You break out, then we have that nice 100-day, and then we have that 200-day. Those are going to be your upside targets, okay? Now, on the downside, we've got a lot of support here, okay? You got 1195 there. That's your 50-day. We have your 8-day. 1196 here. We have your 21-day at 1187. So roughly here, that $12 mark, that's the key. Now, again, if we lose that, then you can come down here to this 1101 level. Then we come down to the bottom here. On this candle right here, you're looking at 1065, and then we have your retest there at 976. Now, we got to an oversold condition here, and then she's just rallying sideways, but there really isn't anything here kind of a situation. Same way with this. I think they're just kind of waiting to see how Macy's actually going to shake out because they're in a process right now, like Big Lots. They're closing stores, and they're kind of regrouping. So I would, I would wait on a stock like this. Okay, let's take a look here now at Dick's. Okay, now here we have Dick's. Now this is actually, a really good sporting goods store, but they're buying Foot Locker. That makes no sense to me why you're getting involved with that there, okay? These specialty shoe companies, even like when you have them in the mall here, they're not just what they used to be, okay? That's what you have to look at reality-wise. Now, what we want to look at here, though, is obviously on the upside is this 21-day. Okay, that's 187.53. Right above it, we have this 50 SMA here at 190.05. Okay, but this gap, this is what we're looking at here. See the top of this candle? Okay, that's 187.55. If we can break through that 21-day and that 50-day, then we have all the way to the bottom of this candle, we have this gap fill, which is very nice at 208.78. Okay, then we have your 200-day at 211.06. And then we'll come over here to the top of this candle here. You got 216.06, and then your big retest there is at 224.64 level. But right now we just have the sideways action, but we do have a nice double bottom going here on the chart. Okay, very, very nice. Now on the downside here, you can see where it came down, but we're holding this 8-day. Okay, 177.16, very, very key. At that's loss, we'll go down to today's low here, 174. Then we'll come to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 168.79. And then your big retest down there at 167.03 level, okay? Right now here, there really isn't, there's like a divergence, okay? See, we have a low here, okay? Then we have a little bit of a low here, but you notice your RSI did not get all the way on down. So we have a positive divergence going here. So we got to see how this one all shakes out. But this is another one. Anything that's in retail, the only one retail I would stick with would be Costco. I think Costco is really in a sweet spot. That's the one what I would be looking for if you're looking at the retail trade. So bottom line, just watch that 8-day. On a downside, if that's lost, we can do the retest down here, 167.03. Upside is 21-day, 187.53, and this 50-day, that's going to become big-time resistance. If we can get above all that, then we just look right to the bottom of this candle because that there is going to be your gap fill at 208.78. Okay, Let's look at Best Buy here. Okay, here we have Best Buy. Now, if anybody could complain about tariffs, I would say Best Buy, yes, I would absolutely agree with that, okay? I don't think they're going to be gouging at all. All right, so what we have here is we had to sell off. We let the gap down, and then we sold right off, like pretty much with the rest of the market. Now, if we look at the downside, what we're looking at here is you're looking at the 71.43. There's your 8-day. Needs to hold that. Your next level is 70.21, and then your next level below that is 68.46, and then we have this 63. That is going to be your retest. But now you can see here, all we have to do if that is lost, we just take these price channels, come right across here. Look how nice that works out. Okay, see right there, 62.88, and then we just keep following the candles all the way down here until we get down to your 54.99. But right now we got a lot of good support. You got your 8-day, 21-day, and 50-day. So this is really not looking too bad. Now, if they have halfway decent numbers here, we're going to be looking at the top of this candle here. You're looking at 73.88, and then 76.40. That's going to be a retest, which runs pretty much here, 76.30 into your 100 SMA. Now, if we can get above that, then we have your 200-day here. But what I always want to point out here is this gap fill again, okay? So if we look to the top of this candle here, you got 81.20, okay? There's your gap. And we look right to the bottom of that candle at 86.46, okay? So you have your gap, okay? We get into that gap. And then we hit that 200-day, 84.24. Then we can do the fill right here at that 86.46. And then we can come all the way back up to the top here again, okay, at that 91.68. Now, okay, so we can see here we're just totally oversold conditions. Now we're sitting here at 55. That could go either way. We have a sideways action. But let's just see how everything all shakes out here with the old Best Buy, okay? Right now, I wouldn't step into it. I would just wait for all the smoke to clear. And then we'll do something going forward. Okay, let's take a look here now at Palantir. Okay, here we have Palantir, and this is a really, really good stock, obviously. Now, remember, NVIDIA's numbers are out after the close today, the same way with Salesforce CRM, okay? Now, I think that's going to set the tone. If they have good numbers, I think all this tech will run higher, including Palantir. This will blast through that 133 and rally right on up here. So always remember that. I think the market right now is just basically based on that NVIDIA, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, Palantir, we're looking really, really good here, okay? So if you look at here at that 124.44, we're holding that. And then right below it here, we have this 21-day at 121.66. Now, you got to respect this 21-day. Simple reason is, look at here, okay? Look how nice that we're holding this level all the way on up here. And look how nice this here. For the last 4 days, you're holding that 21-day. Very, very key. So you got to really respect that 21-day on a closing basis. Now, if that's lost here, then we come down to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 119.41 here. We'll come down to the bottom there. You're looking at 115.01. We come down here. You're looking at 112.07. And then we can just keep right on rolling down here, 107. And then we come right down to that price channel at that 105.32 level. And then we have your 50-day right below that at 104. And then we have this 100-day at 95.76. But that's only if you lose this key 21-day. Okay. Now, on the upside here, we're really watching is this 8-day. That's going to be very crucial on a closing basis, 124.45. If we get above that, then we're going to go to yesterday's high at 127.88. And then we can rally right on up here. Okay, 130.33 and then 133.49. That's your breakout. You crack that, obviously 140 next, 150, and then you can just keep rallying right on up here. Now, if you look at yesterday's high, okay, so you had that 127.88. So all you do is look to the left of the chart here. What do you have? 128, okay? So that was your resistant level, okay? So you went up there, but you notice that it couldn't break through this level here to go to the next level. So that's what we're really looking at yesterday, okay? So right now we just have a sideways action, but everything I really believe that is based on that NVIDIA. If that has good numbers or good guidance or good something after the close today, I just think all this tech will be right back in rally mode, and I think we go higher. Okay, now we got to a little bit of an overbought condition here, okay, and then we just like here, okay, so when you get to a little bit overbought condition here, and then it came right on down. Now, it can stay in overbought condition. Obviously, look at this, okay? So we can stay in that area, but what you always want to look for is divergences to see if it's going to come off. So obviously this came off, and then we went all the way and down. But we never got to an sold condition here, okay? Rallied right up there, a little bit of overbought, came down, but now we just have this sideways consolidation here. So let's just see how this shakes out. So two key levels to watch is this 21-day on the downside. As long as we're holding that, we're going to be sideways to up, and that 133.49, that's your breakout. You crack above it, and you're going to head to that 140 level. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after your pick close, and we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, at crude oil, natural gas, and we'll take a look at gold and silver. And then today we're going to be not only just looking at the indexes, but we're also going to take a look here at NVIDIA because that's going to be, I think that's the play of the day is going to be NVIDIA. All right. Remember, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.